I don't agree with a lot of shit he has to say. He's given us some pretty long messages. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
But honestly, between you and I, they don't piss me off. I appreciate his passion, his feelings. At least he expresses himself, and he doesn't get mad at us for not agreeing with him, which is tough to find.
That's a normal person.
That's not a normal person, Mike. That's the fucking problem.
Well, I don't know, because I don't typically argue with people on the internet anymore.
You don't talk to people.
That's
that's
I rest
the
my
point.
case.
You wouldn't talk to me if I wasn't in your backyard with a microphone.
I kind of wish you would leave. So yeah, it's true.
That makes
just
two
fucked
drunks,
up.
Brian's. Two drunks,
Brian's.
I cannot read these new teeth. I tell you. But so, Mike, I had asked you to interrupt me with a harmonica bit earlier.
Yep.
Which we don't usually contrive things. We kind of just let things happen. But
except for that,
it didn't work. So, is your harmonica near you?
Yeah. Why?
Play something better than what you started with. Like right now, people want to hear that, dude. For real.
Well, the one song I'm working on right now is slow, but it's My Funny Valentine. I'm doing the Chet Baker version, so this will bore people. So,
can you learn Anomaly?
What's Anomaly?
What have you and Beth been working on?
I just gave you the CD, bro. I gave you a brand new CD. Listen to them.
Oh, I played some of their songs, but I can only play. I can only play when Coming Home's in the studio. That's it. Stopping there because the rest is slow and boring.
Jesus, mother.
What?
I'm gonna put lyrics to that.
Yeah,
Do it.
My
Come
Funny Valentine. I did it. Done. Sweet little. I done.
So is me being in your backyard the closest you've come to socializing with people since this happened?
No, I see people all the time.
No, he does not.
I said socialize, Michael.
Oh, socialize. You know what's funny is now that my customers are home all the time, they want to come out and talk because they're bored. So, yeah, I've had to socialize more than I want to during this quarantine.
So Brian Stockwell says when Brevard opens back up, the number one new rock club to go is the Crying Monk.
This sounds like the Stefan bit on Saturday Night Live.
It sounds like a retreat.
They have midgets. Their secret password is jump on my bee. And
whose?
I don't know. The Saturday Night Live skit. Never mind. Whatever.
Saturday Night Live. So I've been okay. We're inside a lot. We're bored. We're blah, 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 blah. I've been going back.
You're not inside a lot.
Suck a dick. We've discussed this already. I don't care if I'm inside a lot. So here's the thing is, I've been going back on Hulu and watching. I started with the first season of Saturday Night Live.
Like season 1.
Season 1, episode 1.
Wow.
Which was Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. And the very first episode of Saturday Night Live was 75% music.
Well, okay.
Like there were 2 skits and 45 minutes of music. Seriously. And then this is the genius that guy is. By the second episode, there were skits. And then by the second season, it turned into Saturday Night Live.
Well, didn't it change names too? Like the first season, it wasn't Saturday Night Live.
No, it was just Saturday
Night. Yeah.
Saturday night's all right.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to talk about he's kept the show on for, 45 years now? Is that what it is?
Dude, the guy's a genius.
Yeah, you know.
Except for he did kind of fall flat there for a few years toward the early 2000s, late 90s.
It happens. Well, I mean, when they killed the Adam Sandler crew, they had to restart.
But why didn't they just kill him?
Because he went on to make a buttload of money.
Yes, he did.
Adam Sandler is one of the best.
And that was one of my favorite parts was watching, because the whole thing about Saturday Night Live was the point of it was you were there until you moved on. And then in the beginning, when you have your Dan Aykroyds and your Chevy Chases and your Bill Murrays and your
Billy Crystals and all.
Yeah. So when you watch some of these guys move on, like Chevy Chase was already making return appearances while Dan Aykroyd was still a member of the show.
Well, Chase was only on for 1 year, wasn't he?
2.
Was it 2? And then he went to be a movie star and kind of.
Christopher Robinson says The Kids in the Hall is way better.
So I had a hard time with Kids in the Hall.
It's way different.
But I will tell you this, the new cast of Saturday Night Live, I don't want to say the new cast, but the current cast, they've been on there for so long that it's time to recirculate. They've been on for the longest. Some of them been on there for 8 years. Keenan's been on there for like 15, and that wasn't new. They need fresh blood because the skits are getting stale.
And that's what happens, right? I mean, like, with everything, it doesn't matter what it is. The Simpsons were the shit. It got stale. South Park was the shit. It got stale.
Well, isn't Family Guy the new Simpsons almost?
Yeah, but it got stale. Yeah,
American Dad.
Yeah. But it's still funny. Like if you catch a new episode of The Simpsons or Family Guy or whatever, it's still funny.
Aaron says, "Why is Stan outside and you guys inside? Is that social distancing?" No, that's just genius.
It's a 6-foot rule, you son of a bitch.
Mike's been working on this shit for 5 years.
Finally executed. Thank you, Corona.
Corona has
COVID-19's all right with me.
I'd be outside with Stan, but we just didn't have an extra cord.
Brian Sherman says, because Stan keeps touching Mike's dick. That's the only reason he let me in.
Right. That's the downfall about him being outside.
He tells Amanda, "Don't touch my dick," and then lets me do it.
He doesn't have a 6-foot reach now.
Oh, my God. Don't underestimate my reach, bro.
Kevin Holly was the shit, and it got stale. Wait, when was it the shit?
Last night.
Season 1, episode 1?
Oh, not just was shit.
Was shit? Oh, yeah, we had too many words there.
No, dude, he's got a great co-host, Mosh.
What's a mosh do?
Who the fuck knows? Drives people away. Anyway.
More than Kevin Holly does?
Yes.
Wow, he sucks.
Like, you can't even listen to Mosh in Echo.
Like Echo the
cool.
Maestro? Or
No.
Oh, you mean an actual Echo?
Right, like, they would rather hear us repeating what they said last night on Kevin Holly than this show right now.
Do you have the transcript? We'll do it.
Who can read it?
Well, I mean, you were there, weren't you?
Who can read it? Thanks for keeping up, Willis, you fuck.
Hey, man, I'm slow.
Quarantine got me
Saturday Night
like...
Live. Mike, when was the last time you actually watched Saturday Night Live and enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed, so let's say there's 20 episodes this season. I don't think there's that many. I will enjoy maybe 3 skits per show. The last 2 that I watched, I actually commend them for the Saturday Night Live at Home, where they're like in different, where they're doing Zoom basically, or their pre-recorded stuff. It failed. Like, it's a bust. Imagine going to a comedy show. Imagine going to an open mic where these jokes are hilarious, but nobody's laughing.
That's why Ryan left.
Right. He doesn't understand.
Oh, not Open Mic Live.
Yes. No. So that was really hard, but I do commend them. Like, they did put in work. But I think the funniest thing was, I always love the Weekend Update. I like Michael Shea and I like Yost. But last time they did it, they had the Zoom audience piped in. This time there was no audience, which meant there was no laugh track. And how different is that? Like, I hate laugh tracks. However...
But there's been shows with laugh tracks
that work.
I ignore. Like, the show is good enough that I ignore the laugh track.
And it's not pungent. It doesn't. It's not overbearing. A lot of the new shows, like Mike and Molly, that was too piped in.
That's too contrived.
Or they try to pretend that it's actually a live audience.
Like Mike and Molly, you're forcing a particular type of joke over and over.
But it's not even that. It's they say one sentence, laugh track. They say another sentence that's not even a punchline, laugh track. It's garbage.
And why is it the laugh tracks are never at the funniest parts? Like, I'm
That's
always
my
laughing
point.
when the laugh track's not going.
Because they didn't realize they wrote a joke there. It just popped up.
Some stoner just hit a button.
It was organic.
Morning Zoo.
It happens, yeah.
But I mean, so that's the thing is, like, I lost interest in Saturday Night Live, but I remember I loved it, and I have a nostalgia problem in my brain.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm a nostalgic type of person. You know what I mean? And which is why I always engage ex-girlfriends. But
you like to rehash your revenge.
I like to remember why I was not there anymore. So we freaking, but the Saturday Night Live, going to the beginning, like I said, and then kind of spot checking through the first 2 seasons, was awesome to see how quickly they progressed and what they became. You know, and I haven't even gotten to the 80s with Eddie Murphy and all that yet. But I'm not done. I'd rather watch that shit than the new ones, to be honest with you.
So here's the problem, and I think, man, I saw something recently that I was watching that kind of... Oh, Community. So I just started watching Community, which is a sitcom that came out in, like, 2008. And I had a hard time watching it in the beginning, but now I realize why. It's because you had a vast group of actors telling jokes for 3 different kind of generations. So there was transitional stuff that we missed, and there was stuff that I got. But I think Saturday Night Live does the same thing. They're attracting to what's current now, which is the younger crowd. That's their demographic. They're not trying to get us back in, except for occasionally they'll bring back, a Tom Hanks or somebody older. But really, they're geared towards left wing, young millennial style demographic.
And I'm going to go ahead and go through this real quick before I get to my point. But Aaron says it was terrible without a laugh track, though. They even said themselves how awkward it was.
Yeah.
They said this is weird without an audience. So, like, WWE did the same thing.
Oh, God, that was awful. Awful.
I can't believe they even played that.
You have to have that audience interaction. That is the show. That is the entertainment part of it.
Oh, and imagine, how they give their cues, like they're, all right, I'm gonna roll you right now. They can't say that anymore because there's no audience drowning that out.
Right, so it'd be like doing the show without a chat board. If we didn't have the chat board's half our show. Seriously, perfect example right there where you just got shut the fuck up.
I got bored. I'm sorry.
I got bored with the chat. But I mean, Jojo, what's up?
It's just Brian and Aaron right now.
No, they're the only ones talking because they're the only ones that are bored enough to talk to us. But Brian actually brought up a question that we'll get off track for a second and come back. But how do you think coronavirus is just miraculously going to go away as it did show up? Do you think that will happen?
Eventually, they'll give us a cure for it.
It will still if there is a dare I use the term normal, getting back to normal, it's going to be 18 months. It's going to be when we have the vaccine, when people are back to normal, when we really know the long-term effect of not just the coronavirus, but what the vaccine does. So this is a new normal. We don't have a normal anymore. Kids miss graduation, prom. They're missing all kinds of stuff. The NFL should happen, but let me ask you this. Let's say everything opens up. Are you going to go to a football game in October if you were scared of the coronavirus? I don't care. I'm going.
Early Madden says, I'm still here. I just don't know shit about that stuff.
Which stuff?
The Saturday Night Live shit. She's like,
yeah.
Dude, we don't watch TV.
I don't either.
We
don't
make
feel bad.
Great music. We don't. Well, there is a vaccine, though. Like, there's a vaccine in the works that
yeah, in the UK, and it could happen in September.
One part of the media tells you, oh, by November, we're going to have it. And the next one goes, realistically, by 2021.
But what's the long-term effect of that? That's the problem. You pussed out vaccines, and that's pretty great. Good job, guys. But you're going to rush this through. Vaccines,
Yeah, they don't have any study on it to see what the side effects are.
When you have stuff that's a prescription, that shit's supposed to go like 10 years with testing and long-term effects before they should put it on the market.
So
or it used to.
Come Monday, they're going to start...
we're off restriction.
With some restrictions, opening things up.
Nah.
Like, a certain number of people allowed,
My life isn't going to change, basically.
Is it?
Well, the restaurants hopefully should open back up.
Yeah, but at 25% capacity.
Well, I understand sitting every other booth.
That's not 25%. That's
half.
That would be half.
Yeah.
But they're going to 25. They can only have 25% capacity.
So that's a little shitty.
Aaron makes a pretty good point, though. He said, I wear the mask, I feel awkward, and then when I look up at someone in the store and see them smiling, and I'm still smiling, then realizing they can't see me smiling at them. Like, it's a bunch of emotionless conversations you have.
That's how ninjas talk to each other.
And I had a chick at a store the other day, like, she was so excited. It was the first time she didn't have a mask on. I'm like, well, stop spitting on me. No,
oh, you're a dick.
I pay extra for that.
But, and she was... that literally is why she was so excited. She's like, someone can finally see that I'm smiling and happy. She goes, I would go to places, and this chick's talking to me for a while.
Talk into the mic.
I would go to... oh, well, thank you. What the fuck just happened? Anyway, so... which mic? Hold on!
I got a mic for you to talk into.
That was one of the things that she was most excited about, was someone could actually see her smiling when she was talking.
Wait, was she a worker, or was she an employee at said establishment, or just a person?
We won't talk about what happened in the car.
Was that the girl was that the Spanish girl that you're talking about?
Right.
Well, let's fill me in. I missed that
Right.
one.
She will cut you, make you some coffee, and then fix you up.